Welcome to the Scoop on Blogging podcast. I am your host, Xaviera, and I am very, very excited to have a special guest with us today. Now, this young lady that I have with us today, she has a very special place in my heart. And of course, I will get into that a little later. But she is a blogger. She is an influencer. She is one of Atlanta's elite media. She is so many more things. She's a podcaster. She has her own apparel line and all of these things that we will get into today. But I want you to grab a notepad and a pen because my spidey senses are telling me you're going to get some gems today and you just don't want to miss these gems. So please join me in welcoming Miss Arkeedah McCormick to the Scoop on Blogging podcast. Hey, boo. Hey.
What's up, y'all? Hey, thank you so much for having me. You know, I was so excited to get the invitation to be on. So thank you so much.
I am so happy to have you here because when I started my blogging journey, you were one of the people that I looked up to. You were one of the people who caught my radar online. You were one of the people that I watched. And so there was this event and it was a panel, and some way, shape or form, I found out about this event. And I saw Arkeedah's name on this event and I was like, I am going because I want to meet Arkeedah. I was following her on social media. I was just loving everything that she does. Her social media aesthetics are absolutely beautiful. And I was like, I want to go meet her. So I go, and it was more like, it was a very small, intimate event. And Arkeedah was one of the panelists, and it was just about entrepreneurship and women and running your own businesses and so on and so forth. And of course, Arkeedah continued to inspire me on the panel. No. And afterwards, I came up like a little fan. I was like, hi. And Arkeedah had also, she's an author. Excuse me, get me corrected. She had just released her book. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I got the book and I went up and I was like, I'm such a fan. And, I've been following you. And she was so gracious. There was no ego whatsoever. And my question to you at that time was, can you please give me some advice on how to get invited to events? And because that was my thing. I used to sit at home and cry. No one would invite me to events. I'm covering all the events after the fact, but no one was inviting me to events. This queen, y'all, was like, what's your email address? And I was like, okay. And she looked at me and she was like, I am going to send you all of my media contacts in Atlanta. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I'm going to send you my contacts. And she was like, oh, no, don't worry. We're going to fix that. She sent me the list of contacts. I got overwhelmed when I opened the list. And I slowly but surely started reaching out to people. And y'all, that is why I'm in these streets now. Well, no, none of us are in these streets, but it was because of Arkeedah. And I'm going to always forever love you for that. I'm going to always forever tell this story.
I mean, you got to help other people. So, I mean, I don't understand, how this culture became how it is when people don't want to help each other or stand because you got to the place you are because somebody had to help me. Someone had to show me what to do. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't cost anything. It's free. It didn't cost me anything for that knowledge. And so I was going to share it because somebody blessed me. So why would I not bless you? It's free. It's enough out here for everybody. That's what Absolutely. People don't understand. Just because you got somebody else coming out, you can only do you. So it don't matter who come out after you. They gonna do them, and you still gonna do you. We can coexist. So Absolutely. I didn't mind. I did not mind because I got my fair shares of no when I used to send those emails. So I understood where you coming from. When you was telling me your journey, your story. So I was like, I hated the way I felt. So if I can help you, get out and get about, why wouldn't I not do that?
Absolutely. I want to start at the beginning because I just had to get that story out of the way. I kind of got ahead of myself, but you are ATL. You are a true
That's right. West side all day. West side, zone 1, zone 4.
You are a true representative of an ATLian. So as being a hometown girl, tell me how you actually got into blogging.
Okay. Well, I was modeling first and I got tired of doing that because contrary to belief, I was scared to go to New York at the time. And so I was just like, okay, I'm going to quit. Yeah. But I still want to have a link to the fashion world. So I was just like, I was seeing, what what was her name? And I can't think of it now because she inspired me. Angel on Fire. She had Concrete
Yes,
Loop.
Concrete
Remember
Loop.
her?
Yep, Concrete Loop. Yep.
So she had a blog. I love what she was doing. So I said, I'm gonna make a blog so I can still do my fashion and beauty, and I'll still have the connection to the fashion stuff because I didn't want to do the modeling stuff because I got tired of doing the brother shows. I was too afraid to do the runway stuff that I want to do in New York. So I was just like, I'm gonna stop the modeling, make the blog, still have the fashion and stuff, and we're gonna roll there because it's crazy how the brand expanded because I only did fashion.
Okay.
When I first started, that was the sole purpose of the blog. Then I was like, I'm going to these events. I gotta look like something. So I did the beauty aspect because I was learning how to do makeup, and so that kind of tied together. And then everything kind of started piling on each year afterwards because
But what's funny? Your progression is so interesting because I think I found you once you had already gotten into like makeup and fashion. I think that's when I found you. But the progression is so interesting because, and I find it so interesting. You were a model. You're absolutely beautiful. And that will explain why you know how to take a good goddamn picture. That explains a lot. Because I'm like 30 pictures for one selfie. Arkeedah like, boom. Even when we're at events.
It takes, you'll see my camera roll. It be taking some angles. You got to, I be all up in here doing that and stuff. So
no, the reason why I'm not going to let you sell that to me is because when we're at events together and we're, you, myself, Ray, and we all get together and like, oh, let's snap a picture. Arkeedah is always.
Just know the angle.
She know her angle. She know where to be positioned in that photo.
We're going to catch the light.
Every time she never fails, and the rest of us are like, and Arkeedah's like, boom.
I'm hitting it. I don't move. You gotta stay still. That's all it is. When you hit the pose, you gotta commit to it because you don't know who's snapping. And so I'm just gonna be in the same thing at all pictures. That's why I look the same because I don't move.
And you don't move. You be on point. So it's funny because, so you went from modeling into the fashion. And then from the fashion, you're like, okay, I got to look cute when I go out. And then you learned about the makeup and then you got into makeup. So how did that roll over into entertainment? Because not only are you doing fashion, you're doing makeup and you're doing beauty and you're doing entertainment. So how did you actually get on the entertainment side of things?
And it's crazy because I never thought that I would be in the entertainment because, when you doing what you're supposed to do, God gonna move you where you need to be because that wasn't what I wanted to do. But, I had the publicist connect. Okay. And then the reason I think I started, and that really set the little trajectory of my brand in 2012 when I interviewed Chili from TLC. Because she had the bags by Chili, which was fashion, but they brought the entertainment aspect into it. So not only am I interviewing a legend, people saw that, and that's what sparked people's interest. I'm still covering the fashion because she had bags by Chili. But nobody was paying attention to that. They just saw that I was with Chili from TLC. And so that's where it sparked up because immediately after that, I was getting like red carpets out of nowhere. And I was just like, so what I'm coming. I'm going to figure this out. I'm not saying no. So that's what happened. I interviewed Chili one-on-one. Yeah. They saw the intimate interview, which was horrible, by the way. Thank God for growth.
What? Okay, so tell me, why do you feel that interview was horrible? Tell me about that.
It was rough. I'm scared. I grew up listening to TLC.
Right, you First of all, this is what I'm used to. You know what I'm saying?
I'm starstruck.
Yeah.
First and foremost. Yes. I was a TLC, growing up in Atlanta, I went to see them at the malls and all kind of stuff. So, I'm going to go back and look at it. It might not have been that bad. I just thought it was bad because I was nervous. I had my first little camera guy at the time. We making it work. We both just trying to figure it out. So, I'm up there looking kind of, he was like, you're going to have to look like that. I'm like, how am I looking? All right, I'm gonna get unscared.
Yeah. I'm gonna get unscared. Yes.
I'm gonna get unscared. He was like, I'm gonna need you to move a little bit. And so once he told me that, I shook it off. But I still could see the nervousness in me
yourself.
In that interview. Yeah. Because it was my first big
I'm talking about You went to the top of the tier at that. You didn't
At
even
the
start
gate.
at a D list. Like you went straight to
Listen, and so that's why I was like, I came out the gate smoking, and that just opened
Yes.
up doors because they saw that I could interview, which was bad at the time. Which obviously somebody had faith in me, but I was still covering the fashion, and so that's what kind of I got into that, and then more doors just started opening from that because I just stayed true to me, even though it was the celebrity, I was still covering the fashion,
Right.
so it worked.
So what year did you launch Itsarkita.com?
2009.
2009. Okay, so when you started the site, like many of us, when we start these sites, we are so excited about starting our own blog, our own little space on the internet where we can share our voice and share our thoughts and all those good things. What did you find most challenging when launching Itsarkita.com?
The respect that came later because I got bombarded, of course, with the no's because they didn't know, first of all, what a blogger was and why did I
Yep.
want access to the event. And then sometimes when I get to the events, I'm surrounded by like Fox 5, 11 Alive, all those bigger media outlets. So it was just the respect of me being there. I
Right.
knew what I was doing, and I know that I was capable of writing good articles and doing good coverage, but it wasn't people was, didn't respect you because they
Yeah.
was like, oh, she's a blogger from what was your name again? That
Yep.
type of treatment. And so it's great to see the evolution because like I don't even have to say anything now. I had to explain back in
Yes.
2009, 10, 11, 12. I think by 12, 13-ish, maybe I didn't have to explain so much. But back in those
Yeah.
earlier years, what is a blog? What do you do? You're not traditional media.
Yeah. And and I found for myself, and I want to see if you agree, it's even harder. It's notable to have, you would think having your own outlet would be a big deal, but it's actually even more of an uphill battle because now you have to prove that your outlet is just as up on par as these big names and these news outlets that you're standing next to.
Absolutely. It's like you had to constantly prove your worth. And then you had to make sure that your coverage was just as good as theirs.
Just as good as theirs. Absolutely.
Okay, as far as the time as you posting, the quality of the content that you're posting, the engagement from your audience. So you had to prove all of that. Because that's the whole thing back then. You had to prove because it was Facebook and Twitter. I forgot when
Yes.
Instagram came into play.
Yep.
So you had to show like you're posting this and who's reading it,
Yep. How many
who's
retweets
coming,
did you get?
how many tweets did who responded to what you tweeted about or did so
Yeah.
it was like people don't understand now. People can talk about their Instagram and this and doing this, but they don't understand how hard it was to get out and get seen and get invited to stuff, and then you had to prove that
Yes.
people are coming to your site and reading your stuff and actually enjoying it, because that's the only thing now. I have to beg for people to comment on the blog kind of
Yeah.
now. They
Yeah.
more so comment on social media. Back then,
Yes.
that's the thing that I noticed that severely changed when all this different other TikTok, Instagram, everything else has launched out. They want to comment more so on that. I used to get tons of engagement on the blog with people just writing under the
Yes.
post. That was
Yes. I
their way
miss
to
those
communicate.
days.
Yeah, and that's like now you have to beg to get a post comment on your actual site, and you have to translate that now into the media kits a little, though all the engagement is primarily on social media.
Yeah, because at one point it had gotten so bad where people wouldn't even comment on the site. It starts looking like, well, does anybody even come in here? So I turned the comments off. I had turned the
Right.
comments off because I was like, look, I'm gonna make it look like they can't comment versus the
Exactly,
comments are
versus that
white.
nobody is commenting.
Right, right. So I was like, I'm just gonna turn the comments off, but I did turn them back on, and I promise you, it's like a tumbleweed every so
Yeah,
often.
every so
Somebody,
often
but all
you
of
get an
them,
old school
social
person that
media.
come through and might want to comment on something, but it's just crazy how the things have changed, and you
Yeah.
have to be able to adapt and keep moving. So
Absolutely.
it's a blessing to
Absolutely.
still be out here in these
Okay.
streets.
Okay. Because
I was saying,
officially, how many years are you in? 11?
11.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
It
I didn't even think it was gonna
is.
go nowhere. I just
Listen.
honestly I created that. The blog was supposed to be a personal diary at first. That's all, and then I had a PR friend of mine.
Okay.
She was the one to push me and was like, why are you just limiting it to that? And I was just like,
let me think.
Okay. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. And she was the one that actually gave me the contacts of the people that I was able to pass down to you.
Right.
She was just like, this is what you need to do. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
At what point did you know, like, this has gone from a hobby and something that I love to do to a business?
When they invited me to LA, girl, I knew I made it. I had called my mama. I said, baby, they finna have me out on the red carpet at LA, honey. I done made it. Okay. We out here in LA with Essence, baby. I knew then. I said, the pricing went up.
Okay. What's that? What's that sound? What's that sound? Oh, that's the sound of the price going up. That's the sound of the price going up.
Listen,
wow.
When I'm sitting up there with the editor-in-chief for Essence at the dinner, I said, I done made it, y'all.
Wow.
So yeah, 2014. So that's what people don't understand. This is not overnight. I started in 2009. It was not till 2014 that I was invited out to LA to cover, like, it. Granted, I'm not discrediting my city, because they had put me on, first of all, for me to even get the invite to LA, because I was covering everything that came through here. I made sure I was covering it. Right. Every red carpet that came through here. But when I knew I had hit that different level when I got invited to LA.
Especially when you go to the airport and you get on a flight that you know you ain't got to pay for. Okay. When you sleeping in a hotel that you ain't got to pay for. When you eating food and go to breakfast and lunch and dinner that you ain't got to pay for. That's a different type of energy.
I was like, it's over now.
That's when you come back acting different. Like, hey, Arkeedah. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to talk to my assistant for you.
No, I wish. I still would.
I know I'm messing with you. I know you have never changed, and that's one of the beautiful things about you. So, all right. So let's talk about the site. Now, the site, you realize it's a business, right? Mm-hmm. So now you're being invited to LA. You're covering everything moving and shaking in Atlanta. You're in front of some of the biggest stars in the world. Monetization. How did you realize it was time to monetize, and how did you go about monetizing your business?
See, thankfully, I was already doing ads and stuff. So I had that element already down.
Okay, cool.
So for me, it was just adding the extra components, because I was like, y'all really care about what I'm wearing. And then I found out I can monetize that, so I can, write a what I wore post and have the links in there, and I get commission from, the sales off of the item. So that was a extra on top of the ads.
Affiliate marketing.
Exactly. Affiliate marketing. Because I was just like, somebody had put me on to that. And so I was, let me see. There we go. Okay. So affiliate marketing really is the pusher for me, because I was able to do it for the beauty products and the fashion products. Mm-hmm. So I'm in both of those lanes, as well as different keywords. And I should have looked that up before. I've been doing this for so long. Different keywords to automatically tag in my posts that generate income as well. So whatever I write about, I don't have to worry about tagging them. It automatically does it, and I get funds for that. So thankfully, I started out with the ads before I realized I was like, I can do the affiliate marketing and then the affiliate programs. And gratefully, I do have, the sponsor posts, the sponsor content for the blog, and now the Instagram, since that's their favorite now.
Yes. So listen, I was just talking to someone about that the other day, about how, and I love being able to talk to you, because I feel like we OGs. Now Angel is the triple OG.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I bought her book and everything. Like, she was the one that inspired me to actually want to do the blog, because I love reading her, and I was heartbroken when she got out the game.
Oh, listen, and remember how beautiful her site was with all the colors, and
graphics.
The graphics on everything, on everything. And I'm like, how is she pushing out this content so quickly, doing all of these amazing graphics? The color scheme was gorgeous. And I'm just like, what in the, but yes. So shout out to Angel. Angel's the triple OG.
Absolutely.
But you and I are regular OGs because you know we 10 years plus in the game. But isn't it so funny watching the evolution and how things change? You know, we've gone from, you know, at one point in time, the goal was to get comments on the site and to get readers on the site. And then the comments started shifting to social media as social media became more popular. But I was telling someone the other day that now when we receive offers, the offers are to post on social media versus posting on the site.
It's the craziest thing, isn't it? I was like, so y'all forgot I have a blog, but you know, I'm gonna run you them rates. Okay. That's less work for me.
It's less work for me, but it's just funny the shift.
It is, and it's wild to me because, you know, I had the blog first, so they wanted the blog locked in, and any other extra stuff for the social media would be an extra for them. So now I have to ask them. You know, I had a client; they just wanted nothing but social media. They was like, we don't really care about the blog. Then sometimes they ask me how much extra is the blog with the social media. Then we have those conversations. But it's wild because, like, honey, I'm old and I'm tired, and they be trying to make me learn how to do this TikTok stuff.
Oh, I can't. I'm receiving email. I can't.
I got it. Doom. Okay, I be on it. Okay, I'm learning the transitions. Okay, but they made me. But the only thing I can't get into is Clubhouse, and I'm trying.
Now, see, I'm trying to pull you into Clubhouse. For me, Clubhouse it's an acquired taste. But I'm going to hang on to your ankle because I don't want you to leave me behind in Clubhouse.
Well, I had already deleted the app before. The only reason that I got back, I logged back in is because one of my homeboys wanted the invitation. And I was like, I got 7 of these things. So y'all better hit me up if you want the invitation before I deactivate it because I'm about to get off of it. Because I had deleted the app at first.
I want you to come back.
It's just
I want you to come back because I want, and it's for a selfish reason. I want you to come back because I want you to do something with me.
It's just, I think I just got, okay, because, I got on right after, before, like at the same time. Either way, I caught the Kevin Hart situation. So I was just like, and so it just, that conversation continued on, and it just don't seem to be productive.
It's not.
Granted, I did get in like a good podcasting room that I listened, and I did get some good information there. But there's so few and far between.
Yes.
And so that's what's bothering me. And I was like, I refuse to get sucked into something that I can't be productive on. So that's why I'm staying with the other stuff. I occasionally pop in because I do see some topics in there that I listen to occasionally. But it's just like the chatter from the people that don't know a lot is prevalent, and that bothers me.
And when I tell you, they will go on for full 5 hours because you can always tell the difference between someone who is knowledgeable of what they're doing and they're trying to share some real concrete, I can apply this today type of information.
Absolutely.
Versus the person who is just hyped because they have managed to get 1,000 people in that room and the spotlight is on them because they're on the stage. So they are going to talk for hours and hours on end and not let another person get a word in edgewise. So yes, I definitely agree with you about the few and far between.
And that's what bothers me. People got to realize, if anything 2020 taught me, is I have to be really careful of what I give my attention to and what I'm listening to. And I had to get off of that because it was just trash. No offense to the Clubhouse, gang, but it was just too much for me.
Absolutely. But it's funny because y'all, I'm going to harass Arkeedah and I'm going to keep my hands around her ankle because she can leave Clubhouse after we do something about blogging, because I just feel like we need to come in and educate these people.
Well, that's fine. Because I feel like stay on there. I'll stay. I left a little group chat yesterday because I was like, okay, good. I got out of it. Bye.
Now I'm gonna pull you right back in, like ring, ring, ring. Hey, Arkeedah, it's me. But no, I feel like we can bring something of value. Like, I just don't want to be in there just wasting time running my mouth. I want to bring something of value that possibly someone else could use. But I'll harass you about that later. Let's get back to you. So TikTok is the one that I don't know what happened, but I think after I crossed over 40, I'll be trying, like, I be
trying too. They have the ones that they slow mo it down, and I get the slow mo.
Okay.
You got to do that one when they do the ooh Like that one, I watch it and I get it.
Okay. All
I'm right
right.
behind you, sis.
All right. Yeah.
Listen, I'll be
I'm
40
dragging
in
my
two
feet.
years. Dose.
I'm dragging my feet on TikTok. It's on my
I
phone,
like it. I like
but
it though. I like it better
I
than
like to watch them.
Clubhouse.
I like to watch them
Yeah.
because people get very creative on there. But
That's what I
so
love about TikTok. The
yeah.
creativity. Because I'd be like, I would have never thought of nothing like this.
And I see a evolution of how people are marketing their brands and stuff. Because now people are like, "Hey, I got a new blog post. You want to read it?"
Exactly.
And then they point at the
They be pointing
URLs,
and doing a little
and I'm like,
thing.
"Oh, so I got the dance to bring
No, you
y'all."
don't. You can just put. Girl, I gotta show you some
Okay,
tips because
okay,
I don't be
okay.
dancing on there because that's not my calling. But I do some other little stuff on there, and I like it. They're good. They have great editing tools, which
Okay.
surprised me.
Oh, well, you got to school me. You got to
Yeah,
school
the
me.
editing tools on there are superb.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about social media since we're already there. You
Okay.
have a great audience on social media and your following continues to grow, steadily continues to grow. Like, what's your secret sauce for social media or for someone who is looking? Well, first, I want to ask you, what's your personal secret sauce for social media? And then on the second half of that, I want to ask you how or what advice you would give to someone else who is trying to grow their audience or supporters or followers or whatever on social media.
For me, my secret sauce is I be consistent. I'm the same person online, and you gonna meet me in person. I be the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to meet somebody that be like, dog, you look more interesting on the internet, and then I meet you, you flat. So I don't
Right.
get. I just keep the same energy. So that's my
Mm-hmm.
secret sauce. I try to stay consistent
Right.
online and in person.
And
Because so
you
if
stay
you
authentic.
yeah, you just stay authentic to your voice. I don't post about stuff unless I truly care about it.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I get paid, I really do try it out and give you an honest feedback so you don't have to worry about that. Since,
Right.
that's what bothers me too now that they see the sponsored posting. So you might not get that engagement like you would if you just posted without it, but that's
Mm-hmm.
a legal thing. So I'm
Yeah.
still going to give people the same
Mm-hmm.
authentic. And I let the brand know I'm going to talk the way I talk. You said you love my content, so you're aware of how I speak to my audience.
Right.
So I make sure that's clear. But that's why I wish that I could say just because it has a sponsor doesn't mean that
Yes.
they're paying
Mm-hmm.
me to say anything. It's still me.
And that's the thing, and I think shout out to all the people who ruined the game and now the FTC is forcing us to say
Mm-hmm.
sponsored because when I see sponsored or ad or what's the other phrase that they use? It's sponsored,
It's sponsor and ad. Those are
ad.
the only two I think.
It's another one though. It's one more I cannot think. And as soon as we, finish the interview, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
like,
those are the only two I
okay,
use. Lord,
yeah,
sponsor or ad, them two,
okay,
and I try to
yep,
hide them at the end so nobody see them.
yeah. But and the thing is though, the moment that you see sponsor or ad, for instance, last night I absolutely love Servant. Servant is a show that comes on Apple TV. It's from M. Night
Oh, I
Shyamalan.
like him.
Yeah,
Shyamalan.
yeah, but I always call him Shamalama Ding Dong. But I don't want to do that on the show because I don't want people to get offended. But that's like my cute little name for him. But anyway, and I attended the virtual screening, and it was absolutely great. But Apple TV invited me to the virtual screening because in exchange for social shares. Now
Gotcha.
I already loved the show when I got invited. I literally wrote back like,
Right, it's a
"Oh
win-win for
snap,
you.
I love this show." But
Right.
when I tell you I love this show, and you see sponsored at the end, it's like. So one person responded on Facebook and was like, "Is it really good? Good, because now they see sponsored. So
It
that's one of the
is.
challenges
It
on our
is.
part. That it is it authentic? So I'm glad that's a good thing that you have to build that rapport with your audience that they know irregardless. People be like irregardless.
Yes.
Irregardless, you are going to give them a true and authentic voice about whatever it is that you're promoting or
I still
whatever it
got
is.
bills, y'all, so I got to get paid. So I got to get them look. I got to get the dollar. But I'm
Absolutely.
gonna give you, the honest feedback. It's happened. It's part of the game. Like now,
It
I don't even
is.
care about the comments because even when I did the Doritos one, somebody asked me, "Was it cheesy enough?" It was cheesy enough for me. I don't know for you.
That was a dope ad, by the way. That was
Thank
dope.
you.
That was
Thank
dope.
you. That's why I was just like, people gonna find something to comment on. That's why I said if my advice to someone that wants to get into blogging and everything, you're gonna have to have strong skin, and because people gonna comment. That was just Doritos. I ain't think nobody was gonna have a question like that was
Yes.
so, off. But
Yes.
you got to be able to handle yourself in that space because eyes are on you. And you got to be like a duck and just let it wash off. And I think the consistent thing for me is contrary to people, you got to follow people. You're not going to get followers without you following people. And I don't follow a lot of people all the time.
Right.
I used to go through that, but I follow people that has the same interests and likes as
Yes.
me. I follow other influencers in other cities because that's what I was doing last year because I really wanted to go to Chicago last year,
Yeah.
but that didn't happen. So I was looking
Yeah.
for, people to connect with in other cities so I can continue, building the brand, expanding out. So you're going to have to follow people and engage with people. And, sometimes when you do get those collabs with other people, make sure the brand is sharing you because people will see you on their page and follow you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is great advice. And another thing that you said and touched on that I want to circle back to is the part about connecting and building with other people in your field. That is networking 101. Network
Absolutely.
is so important. And a lot of people, and I want to know how you feel about this as well. I only can speak to blogging because that's the only space I've really been in with this. Blogging media/media.
Yeah.
You come across those people who feel like if they work with you by any way, shape, or form,
Let me get some water for this.
or if they are supporting you in any way, shape, or form, it diminishes their light or it diminishes who they are. So, they don't want to give too much shine or they don't want to support. Like there's other blogs and like very notable blogs that I would follow and support. And I always noticed it was like a one-sided street. And I'm just like, I'm there. At some point we do write about the same things, but a lot of times we go about them different ways. So it's like, it's enough room for all of us to sit at the table. You don't have to sit down and pull all the chairs away from the table. But, I just notice a lot of times other people aren't, they don't reciprocate the support that you're willing to give outward, especially in this industry. And I'm sure in many other industries,
Absolutely.
but especially ours.
And that's the most, it bothers me to my core, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm just going to be 100% with this because this is something that I lived through and everything. Helping somebody else is not going to take anything away from you because you do what you do.
Absolutely.
And I don't know why we as African-American community cannot stick together because the Caucasian blogger community does not function like this.
No.
That's why they're making the 6, 7 or whatever figures because they will get, I swear, I don't even know if they meant to put me on the little email chain. They put all their network, they following together and they will do a huge giveaway and do that little following train that you got to follow these bloggers. You got to tag these many people. Then so they elevate their
blow
network.
each other up. Yep.
And they hype each other up because we all going to get these followers. We all going to grow our brand. But for some reason in our community, we think that that's going to take the shine away from what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Because I know they made a mistake because I got on this little thing. I was like,
you said,
y'all want me? No, I say I'm good. Thank you. No.
Wow.
Because that's not even my market to do. I'm not asking my followers to follow everybody as a requirement, and all this other stuff. I figure that I can figure something to do out with the people that look like me to do something in our group. No offense,
Yes.
as equal opportunity employer. But I just saw that and it just bothers me that the culture is like so cutthroat.
Yeah. It really
doesn't matter if we're all ABC, Fox, whatever, are all on the same carpet getting their content.
Yes, they are.
But you don't see them acting the way that we act. And that's why I don't understand it. That's why I kind of, before COVID, I was kind of picking and choosing what to go to because I got tired of the fake energy.
Yes. And I did notice that. When I saw you, it was like, oh, she's here. She's here.
No, because the thing is, Atlanta is big, but the circuit is small.
Very.
And if you know me, I'm not going to keep introducing myself to you 50 million times, and you know who I am.
Mm-hmm. You know what gets me? What gets me is at one event, we're all just kicking it, and then I see you at another event, and I'm like, hey, girl.
They be like, who are you? Have I met you before? Baby, we ain't not in Hollywood. We not in New York. We in the A-Town, baby. You know me. I'm straight. Everybody knows. Oh, A-Town Arkeedah, baby. So
She said, "Oh, A-Town Arkeedah." I know that's right.
so that's what my gripe is. Like, we don't understand a sense of community, and the other people do.
Yeah.
Because that's why if we could band together and do things as a collective, we would get further. Because everybody has their audience, and they like how they report. By you working with somebody else, it's not gonna hinder that.
Listen, the Avengers had a squad. Voltron had a squad. The Thundercats had a squad. Don't get me started. G.I. Joe had a squad.
All of them.
So, I mean, it is possible for superheroes to come to, if superheroes can come together and act right.
Exactly. That's what I said. Y'all can have my spot in 2019 because I ain't even coming. Y'all can have my spot on the thing. If that's what got y'all acting so tense and so fakery, baby, because I can still write about it and not be there.
It's not even be there. Because trust and believe that publicist is going to drop that thing in your inbox the next morning.
Period.
Trust and believe.
I come out because I like to try to talk to people and build and network and try to meet other people, but y'all not going to waste my time with the fakery. So that's why I kind of minimized and was pulled back. And plus I was doing some other stuff too.
Yes,
but,
yes.
We'll talk.
Right. But it's very important. And that's another great point. I hope y'all got your notebooks and pens. But that's another great point. Be selective about what you choose to attend, what you choose to cover. If you take everything that's thrown at you, a lot of times you could lose sight of what your brand, you want your brand to be about. You could lose sight of what you're actually trying to do, because you're just grabbing everything that's being thrown at you. So be, just purposeful in how you move with your brand and growing your brand, because it is important. You also mentioned eyes are on you. Please don't believe for one hot second that somebody not watching what you're doing, whether they watching to watch you mess up or whether they're watching to see if they feel like you are quote unquote good enough for them to work with you, to invite you to an event, to fly you to another city. Because let me tell you something, that first trip when you get flued out, that it's I can't even explain it. The first time I got flued out, and I do know it's not flued out, but y'all who know, right? I think I got flued out on my first trip. It was to New Orleans. And I just was like, I am in the NOLA in New Orleans. I got flued out, and it was for a screening with Mark Wahlberg. It was Deepwater Horizon. Ooh. And I got flued out, and that was just such an experience. And it's like a high, and you're like, I want more of this. I want more of this. I'm going to go home and work even harder because I want more of this. So yeah. Now out of all the trips that you have taken, which one was your absolute most favorite?
I don't want to pick.
I didn't want to pick. Okay, give me two. Just give me two.
New Orleans was magical. I gotta say the Essence Fest one.
Okay.
It has to be because I had the best food because I was there for I think the whole time, the entire time that time.
Yeah.
And so I ate at all of the restaurants, like everywhere that I could. So that has to be the best. And then that's the first time I think I ever kind of real time blogged something, because I said, since they doing all this for me, after each little thing, I had to go in the hotel room and I was, typing up everything immediately afterwards, giving real time after the concert stuff is up on social media. So I was on it. So LA holds a special place in my heart because that was I was in Beverly Hills and I felt really luxurious out there. But the food and the experience of being in New Orleans, and the year that I went was the 10-year anniversary from Katrina. So that was special too. So we planted flowers at the school and we did all kind of little, extra stuff. So that trip was special because I learned a lot about what happened in the culture and the people of New Orleans. So I did learn a lot about everything on that trip.
Experience.
Yeah, it was. And it was kind of heartbreaking to see.
Yeah.
Where I'm standing where water was, and they was rebuilding and still rebuilding. And 10 years later, it was just I was in awe, honestly.
Wow. So let's shift gears a little bit away from blogging.
Okay.
You launched a podcast, and I was blessed enough to be a guest on this podcast. We have the Awkward Girl Podventures. Podventures.
Podventures, yes.
Podventures. I always want to say Podventures, but it's Podventures. So what led you to get into podcasting?
First, because I thought there was going to be a space for me that I didn't have to, look a certain way. And then I saw like folks were bringing in cameras and like recording. That was supposed to be like my little downtime because I like, just talk about stuff. And that, with the podcast, I launched it. It was a chance for me to really be myself.
Yes.
Because even though I'm myself on social media, you can't say everything. Like my mom and everybody follows me. I can't be saying the cuss words and all kind of stuff that I be wanting to really talk about.
Right.
Because I do have, it is rated G on the social media, safe for everyone.
Yes.
When you cross over to the podcast, we all in the rated R, sometimes PG-13, but I get to talk about real adult me, and no filter. So that's why, and also I have the spin off the black awkward girl from Issa Rae, because everybody, they won't let me live. She my little sister. Because everybody talking about we related. If we gonna be related, I'm older. She just turned 36. I'll be 39 in July.
So you gotta be the big sis.
I'm the big sis. You don't know. She don't know. But yeah, I just wanted a place that I could 100% be myself with not no judgment, because you say something awkward on, your social media, then folks could be commenting and saying stuff. So, when they know they on the Awkward Girl pod page, that's a whole different story. So we cut loose over there. We talk freely. Also, I talk about real events, taking care of yourself sexually, financially, and, well-being as well. So we do have a balance on the show.
Absolutely. And the podcast is available on all of the DSPs.
Everywhere.
There it is. And for one more time, it is the Awkward
Girl
Podventures. So make sure that you tune in and listen. And when I tell you Arkeedah truly lets her hair down, it is a fun time. And she truly lets her hair down. And she has some amazing co-hosts who join her.
Yes.
What's your co-host name?
It's me. It's just whoever I have on there. I have different comedians.
Because at one point in time, you kind of had some regulars sometimes.
I did. Now my regular is all busy because doing big things in production and stuff, which I can't really talk about. So he has elevated past the podcasting land into bigger ventures. So I'm proud of him. But yeah, I did have like some regulars, but now I'm trying to switch it up. I'm going into season 4. On Saturday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm recording the first episode of the year and of season 4 on Saturday. And I'm going to try to do all things Atlanta. So the whole season is going to be Atlanta based since, we didn't turn blue. And I'm pretty sure folks are going to be trying to transport here. So the first episode is going to be for the transplant. So y'all know
we locking the doors. Don't talk about us, girl. No, I like it here.
No, so y'all... Not you, just the new people that's coming now.
Oh, yeah, because they excited. They want to come now.
Y'all excited. It's still the same. We just didn't flip blue because, we ain't had no voter suppression because, we didn't work through all that. Still the same. So I'm going to break down. So just to give a little teaser, it's going to be called Atlanta Etiquette. So coming from an Atlanta native, I'm going to school you on what you need to know if you decide, which I know folks are. If y'all want to come down here, we already crowded the traffic bad. So
you gonna close the door?
I want to so bad. Traffic be so bad on a Monday at 10 o'clock, and I don't know where folks are going, and just to help folks out if they trying to move here. So it's really gonna be a good friendly episode. Just, giving them the 285, 75, 20 spiel, different hoods and boroughs and where you need to go.
Yes.
Lennox ain't even safe anymore. You might as well go to Bankhead. Just some of those little tidbits.
Yeah. Okay. Now you record on Saturday. What day is the podcast released?
It'll probably be on that Sunday or Monday, but if you follow me on social media, I'll be posting it. So it'll probably go live Sunday or Monday.
Okay. All right. I'm excited about that episode because I know you're going to be cutting up.
I am. I just,
I know you're going to be cutting up.
I just want y'all to stay where y'all at. Atlanta is not as glamorous as Instagram. We're trying to make it seem.
Okay.
Especially if you're single, you might as well stay where you at.
Yeah.
She said, tell folks.
Yeah. So let's talk about your socially awkward clothing line. I really love it. What inspired you? You know, one of the things that, let me just backtrack for a second because I'm going to give you all the flowers. So I hope you're not allergic, right? But one of the things that I love about watching your evolution, just on top of the fact that you inspire me and just off the fact that
cry.
A girl, keep it together. Stay
just
strong.
Put on this little natural makeup.
Yeah, stay strong. Stay strong with a K. Stay strong. But you know, you do inspire me, and I do watch you, and you know, even to this day, I still watch you. I the pictures, and I'm just like, man, you know, just the way she delivers, and just the way that you speak to your audience, like you have. It's almost like you just have it on lock. It seems so effortless when I watch you do what you do, whether it's on, I'm reading an article on the site, or whether you're promoting a brand or telling us about a new cleanser, you know, and everything is so effortless. And so I watched you go from blogging to becoming one of the premier people in media in Atlanta, one of the most respected people in media. You have interviewed everybody. When I say everybody, everybody. And while I'm here, just tell me real quick, 3 interviews that you will never ever forget.
Michael Ealy, Tyrese, and Storm Reed. She's the Atlanta native too, and she's so sweet.
She is so sweet. It was so funny because when I was I interviewed her for the movie that Oprah was in. What is it called?
I know.
A Wrinkle in Time. A Wrinkle in Time. And I interviewed her for that, and I had to. When she would talk back to me, I had to stop myself from going, oh.
Right. She's such a respectable, I mean, she's an adult, but you know, I'm old. So she's just such a cute little young lady.
It's just to watch her, she is putting in work on Euphoria. So shout out to her. She is putting in work on Euphoria, and she is just growing so beautifully.
And that's why I was just like, when I saw her on Euphoria, I was just like, she's growing up.
She done grown up.
And you know, she's an invisible man too. That's why I had an opportunity to interview her for. And I was just like, this is just a wonderful evolution.
And she
fly. From the A-Town, shouty.
Okay, and she just so fly, like she just so young and fly. Yes. You know what I mean?
And I love that.
Remember the old saying, like young, rich, and fly? Did Diddy and them used to say that? Like she just young, rich, and fly.
Is.
She is. And talented. We'll throw talented on the end
Absolutely.
as well. So yeah. Because I'm like, yo, who Arkeedah has not interviewed? But, you know, I watched you go from blogging to becoming an elite member of media to being an influencer. Now, that's something that came along while we were in the game, the influencer part, right?
I was confused when I got that email the first time. I was like, I'm what? I was like, I didn't know where that changed. I mean, seriously, it did take. And folks be thinking I'm joking. Like, it did take, because I consider myself as, you know, a content creator and a blogger.
Yes.
And then so I guess I always tell people that I have influence. Honestly, I don't think I'm an influencer. And I know that don't make sense, but
no, it does to me. It does to me. But you know, but what's funny about that, Arkeedah, is the fact that you were OG, right? So you was already doing something that they just created a new name for and threw it on top of you. Like you were already doing it. But now people are like, oh, well, I'm going to try to be an influencer. And it's like, yo, like the true influence is something that just comes to you naturally. Versus trying, you know, but shout out to the influencers. No.
Yeah. And then that's the thing too, because I guarantee you, like they don't know what SEO and all that other stuff. That's a whole other conversation for another day. That's why I have the influence I do, because I do the work, and that's what people don't understand. You have your Instagram, you have your followers, but you don't have anything that you own. I own my brand. It's my name naturally, but I own that. I know how to optimize things, and so that's why when people search a certain way, they're gonna find Arkeedah and find Itsarkita.
Absolutely.
And that's the takeaway, folks. If you don't know what SEO is, you better go look it up and figure out how you can optimize what's attached to your name. And that'll sell itself.
Absolutely. See, that's why I need you to stay in Clubhouse, because we need to tell these people they need SEO. But anyway, she said,
it's still on my account. I got it on my phone.
Okay. All right. So then we go from being an influencer to a podcaster. I don't even know which came first with that, the egg or the chicken.
I don't know.
I'll say simultaneously, you move through media to being a podcaster, to being an influencer, and then you launched your own apparel line. Like, if you aren't the blueprint, like, that's what I'm gonna call you.
No, it is so stressful too, because that's why sometimes, people you have to focus on certain things. You can't master everything. So, I get stuff up and running, and, I do have to focus, because you got to focus on one thing. You can't have your eyes on everything else. Girl. So the brand kind of take care of itself. The Itsarkita and the podcast right now. And I wanted some apparel to link to the podcast. And so, I'm already considered myself as the awkward person. Folks don't understand. I be in some awkward situation. That's where the name came from. So the socially awkward society stems from that. So it links together. So it's kind of, hand in hand.
It's so funny to hear you like reference being awkward and awkwardness, because you just seem so comfortable in your skin all the time. At least anytime I'm around you, always see so comfortable. But things get awkward around you.
And I get put in awkward situations. And I be like, is this happening to anybody else but me?
Yes. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. But yeah. But, I'm going to consider, on this note, because I'm getting so excited, I'm getting tongue tied. On this note, I think this is a beautiful place to wrap up, because you are indeed the blueprint. They say if you want to learn how to do something, watch someone who has mastered it. And I truly feel like you have mastered every lane that you have jumped into. And of course, you're like me, so it's always like, well, I still can learn this, or I still can grow here, or I still can aspire here.
Because you keep going off. I feel like Mr. Miyagi, because you the Karate Kid, because you have surpassed.
Wax off.
You surpassed me. So whatever you learned from me, you mastered what I did, and you surpassed what I have done, and do it beautifully. So you up here giving me flowers. I'm going to give you your flowers right back, because you have surpassed me, and I'm proud of you as like you are proud of me. Like, I'm Mr. Miyagi in this thing. You the Karate Kid out here killing it on every aspect, doing everything. So I'm equally as proud as you are of me. And I'm proud of you.
Oh, love. Let's do love. I truly appreciate that, though. I do.
You are out here killing it better than me, because sometimes I be like, I'm finna quit.
Girl, if I had $1 for every time I said, okay, I'm out. I literally had sat in the bed last night like, yo, I'm out. My husband was like, oh, word.
Exactly. Folks be looking at you like you're crazy. I'd be like, I'm serious though.
Like, I'm out. But you know why we not out? Because we truly, honestly love what we do.
Because if it was hard, I wouldn't do it. It's something that flows to me. Not saying that I don't have opposition, because some, oppositions do come. But this is something that, I can do effortlessly. So I knew this is something that I needed to do and continue to do. Yes. And I get people emailing me, telling me how they found me and how they would love to work with me. And that fuels everything. Yes. So sometimes I do get in a rut, because you get discouraged, and 2020 was a big adjustment, because I covered nothing past February. Like it was amping up to be a great year, and then it just quickly decline, and you had to really, and I hate to say the word pivot, because I know folks have used that.
Pivot is that's my word for 2020.
I had to pivot. And I was able, and I know you're wrapping up. I'm gonna tell people
too. Go ahead.
You really learn about yourself when you get backed against the wall, and you still are required to create content out of nothing. I looked at my timeline from March until December, and I still had consistent content without any events. I didn't interview anybody. This is the first year. The last interview I did was with Storm Reed.
Okay. Yep.
That was in February. I didn't interview anybody, and I created constant content. That's how you know that this is something for you, when you create something out of nothing. I sat down and used everything else around me to create content consistently throughout the year, because I was not going to events. I'm not going to, the Essence, not going nowhere.
Nothing.
So I had to go back to the drawing board and go back to old school. What do I know? What do I know how to do well? And what do people come to my site for?
Right.
And I focus on that. I play dress up a lot because I styled all those outfits and then go nowhere.
What's that? Remember the little thing? Be like, look at this. Couldn't wear it. Have you seen that on Instagram?
I was going to do that, but I won't.
Couldn't wear it.
On Instagram.
I love that little thing. And it's TikTok, isn't it?
It is.
Couldn't wear it.
I couldn't wear it.
Well, I couldn't tell because you, like you said, you were still able to create that content. And I think that's what lends you to be a true content creator, when you can create something out of nothing.
Absolutely.
You know, or you can just find something in the middle of something else, you know, because for me, the block got hot for me as well, because I was like, yo, what I'm gonna do? All the movie studios are shutting down, you know, and I loved, you know, for me, I will say, a lot of people really don't realize I just want to do entertainment. I only included celebrity news because that's what pushes the brand forward. Because people are so celebrity driven. So, you know, celebrity news, my breadcrumbs. Like, come. Look at Kim and Kanye. Come here. And then I'm going to tell you all the movies that come out this year. So, you know, if it were up to me, if I could get away with it, I wouldn't even bother with celebrity news. I was strictly, you know, but you get it. You in the mix, you know.
You had to figure out what was going to work for this year, and under the circumstances that was going on. So you had to still get content out.
I still had to get content out. And it was challenging because, especially at one point in time, all I was writing about was this film is pushed back. This is pushed back. This is canceled. This is canceled. This is pushed back. This is canceled. And I was like, yo, or this is pushed back. This is canceled. He died. She died.
Baby,
she died. He died.
I'm telling you, it was a rough little year, but we made it, and that's what I'm saying. Once you know your niche, and you go back to the drawing board, that never fails. That formula never fails, and I saw that this year, and so that what made me proud of myself, because I was like, I'm taking all the extra fluff out with going to events, going to interview somebody or anything, and I'm getting back to the core of what my audience signed up to follow me, or, you know.
Yeah.
So
what we know and love you for. What we know and love you for.
Exactly. So that's my takeaway. Know your niche. Pivot when you have to, because we're still not out of this pandemic.
No. Regardless of how it look on social media, we still in a pandemic.
And I still be in the house. I'm in Atlanta. I'm not smoking hookah. I'm not in nobody club.
Okay.
I'm at the house.
Okay.
Making charcuterie boards.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
What's a charcuterie board?
You know, with the little cheese and
yeah. I just call it the meat and cheese board because I'm not I'm not cultured. Oh, you talking about the meat and cheese? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I make those. I got pretty good at that during the quarantine.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to make me one, and then I'll come by and pick it up or something. Or I sit on the outside of the door. You sit on the inside. But Arkeedah, I sincerely appreciate you coming on today, because I knew that just by sharing your story and people just having the opportunity to listen to you talk would just be enough to inspire someone to push their brand further, to work harder, to go higher this year, you know, because this year I'm just telling people, go higher, like just try to go higher.
You got to do it.
You know, and I definitely appreciate you for that, and just for sharing and for taking time, because I know I'm not taking for granted that you showed up to this function.
Girl, I ain't doing nothing.
I'm not taking for granted that you showed up to this function. This is the time.
Listen, folks better get me in, because I swear when the world back open, I'm out of here. I'm going somewhere when it's safe.
Yes.
So they better be locking me in for these virtual things. I done got to like them now.
Okay.
But
now tell
anything for you. I come on
thank
for
you. Thank you. That's why I love you so much. So tell everyone where they can connect with you and how they can continue to support you and see all of the wonderful things that you are doing and all of the great content that you are creating.
Yes, you can follow the blog. Itsarkita.com. Itsarkeedah. And on social media, you can just follow Itsarkita. It's Itsarkeedah, and it has all the links to the podcast, to the apparel and everything in the bio to make it a one-stop shop, so you don't have to go look for everything else. So I'll be right on there today, probably saying something. You know, I've been doing those little filters, honey, on Instagram to change my voice, and I be talking crazy because it'd be funny, but I be meaning it.
She said I be meaning it, and she do mean it. I could tell by whatever she's saying or the tone when she mean it. She
be meaning it.
She be meaning it. But thank you so much, Queen. Just thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for inspiring so many of us. Thank you for just being you and allowing us to just watch you work and just to watch you excel and watch you go higher.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
so
you.
We love
you're
you
equally as talented
much.
and you're doing your thing too, sis.
Thank you, boo. Thank you, Bill. So thank you so much. And again, follow Arkeedah. It's Arkeedah.com. It's Arkeedah on social media, and you will find everything else that you need. So we love you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later on.
Y'all stay safe. Put away the mask.
Listen. Okay.